We are so back. Let me see if it worked. Checking the buttons, guys. Let's see if it worked. Let's see if it worked. Well, it seems to have worked on Rumble. Let's check YouTube. Really, YouTube and Rumble are the only two I care about because that's the only places people watch me. Yes, I do stream to like 7 different places, but nobody watches anywhere else, so I'm not sure why I do that. Probably because it's just a click of a button. So I could probably drop D Live and Odyssey at this point. Those platforms are dead. But we'll keep going. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me now. I am checking to see if I'm live again. Checking. I am checking to see if I'm live. Okay, are you guys here? It doesn't look like you guys are here, but I'm going to keep going anyway. Well, it says 10 of you are here, so much for that. I'm going to restart this story because this story really got me right here. Because this guy had kids, right? And his youngest kids probably barely remember him because this happened 7 years ago.
New at 11, nearly 7 years. That's how long a Brooklyn man spent in a coma. The result of injuries caused by a sucker punch from a stranger. This morning, he died. And his family tells News 4's Jackie Beckford they...
And it's doing this again. Perfect.
want his attacker to be charged with his murder.
These memories by their father's bedside are all these two young boys have left.
We woke up and then our mom said that our dad didn't make it. I was sad about it.
13-year-old Pedro Tapia and his 11-year-old brother Jose learned today their comatose father had died. Domingo Tapia had been in a coma for nearly 7 years after he was randomly sucker punched while riding his bike on a Brooklyn street. Their mother, Esther Diaz, speaking through a translator.
He was suffering a lot, and she knows that she's well with his, and she feels right now.
Diaz, a housekeeper, says her husband's absence from their lives has been difficult.
It's been a struggle, and dealing with the kids. She got to work overtime, and she's having a lot of problems, though. Ever since.
More than anything, she and her sons want Gary Anderson, the man who put Diego in the hospital, to now be charged with his murder.
Mis hijos se quedó sin padre. He wants justice. That justice. He wants him to go to jail because he got, I think, three years and he didn't do that much.
In fact, friend Jaime Gonzalez says Anderson, now free, barely served his sentence.
Everything's crashing right now, guys. Everything is crashing. I don't know what's happening. What is happening? What is happening? Hold on. I'm trying to find out what's happening to my stream right now. Holy cannoli. AT&T is experiencing outages. That's not great. That is not great. Okay, let me close that because that shows my location. We'll keep trying. Maybe I'll just do articles I can read instead of play videos.
The Brooklyn DA to inquire if they would file new charges against Anderson, but have not heard back. Anderson was only charged with misdemeanor assault. That's because under New York law, it's nearly impossible for prosecutors to give a defendant who throws a punch that causes death or serious injury more serious charges. Lawmakers so far have been unsuccessful in trying to close the loophole that allows for this.
It's not fair to me, but...
The family now left to plan Domingo's funeral, while the man convicted of punching him walked freely.
I don't think of him going, hey, being caught, got to jail, and got justice for hurting our father.
And the family says they're applying through the Mexican consulate for financial aid to pay for Domingo's funeral. Jackie Beckford reporting, News 4, New York.
Okay, so yeah, everything's crashing right now. Everything is crashing right now, guys. Everything is crashing. I don't know what's happening to my internet. There's a bad thunderstorm at the moment. Actually, it's kind of cleared up, so maybe it'll get better. It was like, when I first started, it was like thunder and lightning and scary, right? It's kind of cleared up now. In case you missed the gist of that story, what made me so mad about it was that they're not going to recharge that dude. And they only charged him for like punching the dude. They didn't charge him for murder. The dude, the gentleman, the father of this family died. Just because it took him 7 years to die from his injuries, he was in a coma that whole time. So, New York, get your stuff together. Get your shit together. I'm gonna use bad words. That's fine. Renton teen accused in shooting death of 15-year-old held on $1 million bond. Complete opposite of what we just saw in New York, huh?
I'm just glad he is locked up temporarily for now. That makes me feel good inside.
Terry is recovering from a bullet to the face and the sting from learning one suspect violated his release conditions while on house arrest.
It's killing me. This is killing me. This is impossible to do a show like this, guys.
I feel like he should have been out on house arrest in the first place.
Online court records claim a 15-year-old suspect's electronic monitor recorded him in a location outside his permitted residences in early April.
That is a flagrant and willing violation of court orders.
At the violation hearing, the suspect's mother says she turned him in to his probation officer and said he lied about going straight to his grandma's house to charge his ankle monitor.
My understanding is that he beelined to his girlfriend's house and then to her. So I'm not happy with his decision. I'm not okay with it.
Surveillance video originally captured the teen and a 14-year-old allegedly robbing a woman at gunpoint outside a Winco in Sumner. Shots were fired when someone intervened, and that's when Terry was hit and lost an eye. He urged Commissioner Robin Lindsay to put the suspect in secure detention at this latest hearing.
I have a fake eye because of this kid, and I'm still trying to get my life on track from what he did.
In response, the defense even tried blaming a friend for peer pressuring the suspect to take that route, but the commissioner didn't buy it.
In this instance, I do find that there is a significant threat to community safety.
Do you feel that there's now a sense of accountability in this situation?
Well, I feel like they were going to let him out until I spoke my piece.
Reporting in Pierce County, Jackie Kent, come on.
How does this person, this teenager, get out on an ankle monitor? Doesn't an ankle monitor mean you have to stay your butt at home? Apparently not, because he was out robbing people in a grocery store parking lot, and now this guy doesn't have an eye. Yeah, keep him locked up. I don't think that judge was going to let him go again. The dude just said that, oh, I think they were going to let him out until I spoke up. I don't think that's the case. I think that judge was going to lock him up for sure. Keep me apprised of how the internet is going, because I don't know that I'm buffering when I'm buffering, and hopefully, like I said, the weather has cleared up, so maybe it'll be smooth sailing from here. Here's one that I really wanted to bring to your attention, because you guys got to keep your heads on a swivel. This story of this dude missing his flight, and then so he's already passed security. I'll play it for you. But I never even thought that this was a thing that could happen. But when you think about it, this is totally a thing that can happen.
New security video showing a Texas efforts here to sneak onto a Delta Airlines flight by taking pictures of the boarding passes from some of the other travelers.
This happened at Salt Lake City International Airport, which is where news specialist Shara Park joins us live. Shara, this is concerning.
Yeah, Deanie and Mike, it is very concerning, and it's a good reminder here when you see these videos just how careful we need to be with our boarding passes.
At Salt Lake City International Airport, security cameras captured one man's brazen attempt to catch a flight home. On Sunday, April 17th, Wyclef Florizard goes through TSA using a buddy pass for a Southwest Airlines flight to Austin. However, there were no seats available, and it was his second attempt in 2 days. Security video shows Florizard head to the Delta terminal.
Okay, and it wasn't even that he missed his stinking flight. He was just on standby and couldn't get on the plane. I don't know if any of you have flown anywhere lately, but there's not extra seats on planes anymore. Flying standby is like probably a dumb decision. Pay the extra money, get a confirmed seat, because there's just not extra seats anymore. They overbook them. When I was in Indiana to cover the Delphi, Indiana case for you guys, on the way home, they overbooked the flights and they ended up giving me $500 to take the next flight. And I sat my happy ass at the airport for an extra 3 hours and they gave me $500. It was great for me. But my point being is there's just not extra seats available on flights anymore. And we're buffering again. Perfect.
Scope out another flight to Austin. He then stands behind the passenger and allegedly takes a photo of her boarding pass.
Comfort Plus, welcome aboard for Austin A2. Here's known as Comfort Plus. You're welcome aboard at this time, A2.
About 25 minutes later, Florizard appears to do it again, this time while standing next to a man at the gate. He then gets on the plane using the photo on his phone and hides in a bathroom. According to charges filed in U.S. District Court in Utah, once the doors to the plane were closed, Florizard came out of the bathroom to find no seats available.
You think?
And when the flight attendant couldn't locate his reservation or ticket, the plane was forced to return to the gate. Once off the plane, Florizard was met by Salt Lake City police officers and eventually arrested.
Well, Delta Airlines sent me a statement saying that they...
Yeah, Delta Airlines sent you a statement. Great, Shara. Appreciate that. Yeah, so the dude just stood behind other passengers who were looking at their, looking at their boarding pass or whatever on the phone. He just stood behind them and took a picture with his phone and probably zoomed in and cropped or whatever. And then you know how you go up to the gate and you scan the thing on your phone? He just scanned the QR code of somebody else, which I don't understand how at that point, like when you're going through the gate, when an alarm or something sound that says, hey, this ticket's already been scanned? Apparently not. Apparently that did not happen. And he hid in the bathroom thinking that they were just lying about there being an extra seat or whatever. They weren't lying about it. Anyway, keep your head on a swivel. And don't have and that's just, that's just happened to be at an airport, right? So it was a boarding pass. But I don't pay attention to who's behind me when I'm on my phone. I could be on my banking app or whatever it is. Just pay attention to your surroundings, people. Dozens of deaths reveal risks of injecting sedatives into people restrained by police. I was not aware they did this. I didn't know police officers injected sedatives into people in custody. But apparently that's a thing that police are doing these days. Demetrio Jackson was desperate for medical help when the paramedics arrived. Okay, at least it was paramedics that injected it, not random police, right? Demetrio Jackson was desperate for medical help when the paramedics arrived. The 43-year-old was surrounded by police who arrested him after responding to a trespassing call in a Wisconsin parking lot. Officers had shocked him with a taser and pinned him as he pleaded that he couldn't breathe. Now he sat on the ground with hands cuffed behind his back, took in oxygen through a mask. Then officers moved Jackson to the side so a medic could inject him with a potent knockout drug. It's just going to calm you down, the officer assured Jackson. Within minutes, Jackson's heart stopped. He never regained consciousness and died 2 weeks later. Oh, this is a horrible story.
Yeah, seriously.
EMS, if they aren't careful, can simply become an extension of the police's handcuffs, of their weapons, of their nightsticks.
If we don't change the training, change the protocols, then we all bear responsibility for future deaths.
He's dead. He's just dying.
EMT's job is to save lives, not take lives. Police have an arsenal of tactics to restrain people. Lesser known is chemical sedation.
Yeah,
the role
lesser known. I
paramedics
didn't even
play
know
in
about
police
it.
Encounter.
Did you guys know about? Did you? I'm in shock a little bit right now. But tell me right now, either in the chat or down below if you're watching this after the fact, did you know that police did this? I didn't know. Let me gather my thoughts for a second. I would assume that after being shocked with a taser, having sedatives is probably not a good combination. Now, I'm not in the medical profession. I'm a layperson, and just common sense would tell me that it's probably not a great idea.
The use of injections to calm agitated people has quietly grown.
Yeah, it's strong. We had one guy that gave him 3 shots.
A 3-year investigation found that more than 1,000 people died after a police encounter involving force not intended to be lethal. Nearly 1 out of 10 of those cases involved sedatives. Cardiac or respiratory arrest often occurred within minutes of injection.
Is he knocked out or he ain't dead, is he?
Hey, wake up!
After they gave him medication, he started to pass out, and now he's not breathing.
The AP found that authorities often don't scrutinize the use of sedatives, making their exact role in the deaths unclear. Medical examiners frequently blamed health conditions or other drugs in their systems, as was the case for Demetrio Jackson.
He was outgoing. He loved to tell jokes. It would me laughing every time he would come to visit me.
To understand what happened to Rita Gowan's 43-year-old son, we reviewed police videos and hundreds.
And this happened in 2021, so they've apparently been doing this for a few years now, if not more. But this Demetrio Jackson case says Jackson's 2021 death illustrates an often hidden way fatal U.S. police encounters end. Not with the firing of an officer's gun, but with the silent use of a medical syringe. I had no idea that this was a thing. I'm glad whoever sent this to me in the Discord, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I really had no idea.
Hundreds of pages of records.
I had to watch the video of what they did. And I find myself sometimes waking up at night, I'm beating on my couch.
It doesn't work when it's big. I don't know, guys. I'm going to have to keep it small. I'm sorry.
I'm yelling out. And I'm just mad. Because I know he wasn't done right.
What's your name?
It's 4 a.m, and Jackson is in the parking lot of a radio station in Altoona, Wisconsin.
I wouldn't call this an emergency necessarily, but could I get an officer to assist me, please?
Okay, what is going on?
All I'm looking for right now is your name, just so I can verify who you are, all right? I'm not gonna you're not getting in trouble or anything for standing on top of the cars, even though you shouldn't be doing that, right?
But Jackson, who's on probation for a drug conviction, won't give his name.
Are you gonna give me your name or no? Because I'm not gonna sit out here all night.
It sounds like he was trespassing in a closed business parking lot. Major Victor was asking, what is the original reason for this arrest? And it sounds like he was just in a spot that he shouldn't have been in. Which I would think the proper protocol would be like, move it along, folks. Go on, get. But that's not what happens here.
And drag this out, okay?
After 40 minutes, they move to arrest him and he flees. That's when everything changes.
Get on the ground now, or you're gonna get tased. Drop on the ground now, right now. Get on the ground.
Oh, man.
Stop moving!
Please help me!
Officers struck him twice with a taser, handcuff and restrain him on the ground. Jackson complains he can't breathe.
Mama!
He's placed upright and given oxygen. It's at this point, paramedics give him 2 injections of ketamine, a powerful sedative used in both humans and animals. Jackson is still complaining that he can't breathe.
What's happening? I can't breathe.
He already has him contained. And to give him a shot of animal tranquilizer.
Yeah, he was already in cuffs.
That just don't sit well with me.
The Altoona Police Department and Eau Claire Police and Fire Departments released records on the incident but declined interview requests. Jackson was described as still being combative after he was tased. We shared the body cam footage with several paramedics and medical experts.
While he certainly is altered, and maybe he's a little bit resisting care, I struggle to understand, at least in the context of our protocols and training today, what the necessity of performing sedation would be right here.
If my patient needed oxygen, that would have definitely given me pause to then give them.
Yeah, if he's saying he can't breathe, you don't give him downers. Downers reduces your lungs from, oh, man, these are medical professionals. This is not the police. When I first read this, I thought it was the police doing this and they didn't know any better and they're just following directives or whatever. But these are paramedics doing this. If somebody's saying they can't breathe, you don't give them ketamine. Ketamine makes you breathe less.
Ketamine. It was just a really absurd escalation that never needed to happen. There is no threat to the safety or life of the officers.
He was handcuffed already.
Proponents say sedatives are safely administered thousands of times annually. Their use climbed in the late 2000s, spurred by a controversial diagnosis known as excited delirium. Medical experts believed that severe agitation, often due to drugs or a mental health crisis, could be life-threatening. The AP found some officers were quick to assume excited delirium and ask for treatment.
This is probably an excited delirium thing.
He's trying to bite us. He's.
Let me get the shot to calm him down.
Yeah.
The police are not trained to suggest therapeutic intervention. EMS is the one that makes those therapeutic decisions.
Dr. Mark DeBard is a retired emergency room doctor. He led the task force that recommended rapid sedation for excited delirium, but is critical now of how it was put into practice.
Whatever you want to do, but you're going to have to either tie him down or sedate him.
The protocol for treating this should only have to be implemented on a rare basis. If it's happening more often than what I indicated, then it's probably being overdiagnosed.
In 2023, leading medical groups discouraged using excited delirium as a condition and cause of death. Critics say the diagnosis was used disproportionately on Black men, who were more likely to be given sedatives. Of the 94 cases AP reviewed, about half involved Black people, including Demetrio Jackson in Wisconsin. After his struggle with police and ketamine injections, Jackson stopped breathing on the way to the hospital. He died after 2 weeks in a coma. Jackson's official cause of death was cardiopulmonary arrest caused by methamphetamine in his system. His death certificate made no mention of police action.
They don't know what these people are already on, so them giving them ketamine when they don't know what other drugs are in their system, if they're acting like this, they're probably on something else. So I would think you would want to find out what else they're on, because I'm assuming that it was the combination of the meth and the ketamine that did this guy in, not one or the other, right? So they're going to blame it on the meth because he took the meth, right? They're going to blame it on that. But he wouldn't have died if you didn't give him the ketamine.
Or ketamine, a pattern AP found in other cases.
There are many deaths where you don't have a kind of a smoking gun at autopsy. The real question is, did it play a physiologic role in the death? Would this person have died without that sedative in their system? And what probably is needed are some more studies to look at this and see, is there scientific basis for saying that these are playing a role?
Stop right there. Stop.
To date, only 2 paramedics have been convicted in a death involving sedation, in the killing of Elijah McLean in Aurora, Colorado in 2019.
All the cops are.
So is your testimony that you are unsure whether he was actively fighting or not as you administered the ketamine?
I just don't remember the exact movement as I gave him ketamine.
So we're going to do a series of simulated scenarios.
Some agencies that oversee paramedics have reviewed their policies for sedation.
Is there some downside to sedating him potentially?
I think any situation I would be
I mean, Christo's got a
very
point.
reluctant to just immediately sedate somebody at the request of either law enforcement or a provider, because I mean, let's face it, once you give this, you can't take it back.
For years, I had been teaching them about this concept of excited delirium as the cause of death for many individuals in custody. And in examining Elijah McClain's death and some of the details we had around it, as well as similar deaths, I and others came to the conclusion that we'd probably made a mistake.
Other cities are focusing more on addressing mental health. In Austin, Texas, that includes a specially trained response team.
Your options are stay home or go to the hospital, and that is it. What our team has done is go, you know what, there's a better solution here. Sedation is a tool like any other, and it can be used well or it can be used in not ideal conditions. Frequently, we will work with patients to have shared decision making to give them a dose that helps their anxiety and calms them down. Many patients say, yes, I would like some medication to calm down. Our goal is not to come in and fully knock somebody out 100% of the time.
A prosecutor closed Jackson's case without reviewing the actions of police or paramedics.
We all know he died wrong. You didn't have to take my son. All you had to do was go ahead and take him to jail. That was my son. I will cry till I die.
All right, that was a longer video than I expected, but I was kind of really into it. I needed to know that. Hopefully, other people, you know, more people see this, because like I said, when we first started, I had no idea that that was even a thing. Thank you very much, Ron, for the super chat. Zena and Ava have had a very busy day. We had people here working in the house earlier, and then they went on a little trip over to their cousin's house, and they're tuckered out, but we're going to wake them up for these little milk bones. Hey, Ava. Ava, are you awake? Ava. She is like, she's like really out. I'm just going to put this by her nose and see if she smells it. Oh, I kicked her camera. Hey, Zena, come here. Zena, come here. Come on. And there's Zena. Thank you for the super chat. Zena thanks you for the super chat. Say thank you. Say thank you. Say thank you, Ron. All right, hop down. Thank you. I'll try not to kick their camera again. I appreciate that. This next story is a missing California woman, Amanda Nenegar, was found dead.
A month-long search for 26-year-old Amanda Nenegar coming to a heartbreaking end for her family, including her sister Marissa.
I'm just really numb and upset, mad.
The La Paz County Sheriff's Office says Amanda's nude body was found under a tree near Cibola in the Arizona desert Friday night.
Who knows what she went through? Suffering for that many days out there alone.
On February 28th, Amanda was reported missing after she was last seen in Blythe, California, which is near the Arizona border. Arizona's family obtained 911 calls between Amanda and the El Centro California Highway Patrol Station the day before she vanished. She called for help after getting stuck in a ditch.
I'm to like a high mountain and I'm wearing pink.
Okay, so you're on Highway 78, you think, and then what would be the nearest cross street?
I'm not sure. I would say a
I'm trying to get a location, but I'm not getting one.
Amanda gave the dispatcher her coordinates, but they looked in the wrong area.
This young lady was trying to get help. She called 911.
The La Paz County Sheriff William Pons says his department never got a call from the California dispatch station. It wasn't until a week after that 911 call that his agency got word Amanda was missing from her loved ones who found her car in the Cibola Desert.
We used drones, we used personnel on the ground, people in off-road vehicles, also people on horseback came out and tried to search.
But nothing came up. On Friday night, Pons says a search and rescue expert, part of Amanda's family, found her body about 2 miles north from her car. He says a rose tattoo on her hand helped identify her, and because her clothes were found not too far from her body, investigators believe she may have been trying to cool off before possibly dying from exposure.
We were hopeful that we could find her alive and that she would be okay. It's very disheartening when it comes to something like this.
Both Pons and Marissa wishing the coordinates Amanda gave dispatch would have gotten to her family and the sheriff's office sooner.
Had we gotten that much sooner, I think we could have located her alive and been able to bring her home.
Yeah.
Whoever that dispatcher was, he failed me.
They just never told Arizona. If somebody goes missing right on the border of 2 states, you tell the other state. So they just got to the border. California went out and looked for her, couldn't find her, got to the border and just stopped and didn't say, hey, guys over there in Arizona, why don't you have a peek on the other side of the border next to the road and see if you find anything? Just never said anything. What is happening with all these bad police work lately? Lately meaning the last 2 stories.
My sister horribly.
Favorite derby of all time is 1997. Silver Charm holding
Horrible. That's horrible. Oh, okay. Here we go. This one. We're still in the desert, guys. I am going to play this video for you. Mr. Zed and I had a discussion about this earlier today. What I want to know when I play this video is, what do you think? What do you think the penalty should be for these people that I'm about to show you? What do you think?
This feels like a personal attack in a way.
Crime captured on camera, sparking outrage. Damage done at a national park site that cannot be fixed. Tonight, Lake Mead National Recreation Area officials are seeking more information on 2 men seen damaging protected rock formations. A little girl screams as 2 men push chunks of red stone off the edge of a formation at the federally protected site.
It takes millions of years for these rock formations to form, and then you get a few idiots out there that are destroying all that work of nature. It's pretty appalling. It's kind of disgusting.
It happened Sunday evening at 5:45 p.m. at Redstone Dunes, one of the most popular hiking trails at Lake Mead.
Why would you even do something like this? Like why on earth would you do this to this area that's so beautiful? It's one of
Lovely.
my favorite places in the park, and they're up there just destroying it. I don't understand that.
Lake Mead National Recreation Area is massive, a lot of park to patrol.
It's 1.5 million acres. We have 2 big lakes, a chunk of the Colorado River. It gets pretty difficult based on our staff levels to be everywhere all at once.
John Haynes, Public Information Officer for Lake Mead National Recreation Area, says with 6 million visitors each year, they rely on the public to also keep watch over what is owned by all, especially in remote areas of the park like this.
If you're out of cell phone range or you just know the number, at least try to capture, if you can, if it's safe, some kind of video or photo of the activity taking place. You don't have to engage people. Many people don't feel safe engaging others out there, and that's okay. It's really important for you just to let us know.
Since the men have not been charged, Fox 5 is not showing their faces. But if caught for this federal offense, they could face prison time.
It could range from 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine, all the way up to a felony offense.
Charges for toppling natural rock formations are not unprecedented. This is video obtained by our sister station in Utah. 2 Boy Scout leaders toppling boulders in Goblin Valley State Park were charged and had to pay thousands in restitution. Now this video is going viral online with thousands of people weighing in.
Why were they doing that?
We showed the video to people at the park's visitor center.
Wow. Why? I believe in Darwin. They should have gone down with the rock.
Yes, ma'am.
So what should you do if you see someone damaging a national park site, especially in an area with no cell phone?
Shoot on sight is what I say. Just take them out right there. What should you do? Throw them off the cliff. Okay, so Mr. Zed thinks that I'm going a little overboard, but I think the punishment should be that they get thrown off the cliff that they're throwing the rocks off of. If they survive, they survive. If not, so be it. Whatever. Darwin. Exactly. Thank you very much, News Now Enemy, for renewing your membership. Member for 8 months. I appreciate it. I'm going to wake these dogs up again. Hey, Ava. Hi. Do you want a cookie? You ready to catch? She missed. Xena? Come here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. Xena definitely appreciates it. Xena appreciates it. Ava appreciates it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, death penalty. If I was queen of the world, but I'm not, so that's not going to happen. Major Victory says it reminds him of a video that somebody died because they jumped over the fence at the Grand Canyon. You know what's funny is some of the places at the Grand Canyon don't even have a fence. Like it's not like I get it, like you jump the fence, you know, but the Grand Canyon is very dangerous. I didn't realize it until I went there. I've also been to Lake Mead. It's like one of the most beautiful areas in the country. Why would you want to mess that up for everybody else? I don't get it. I don't understand. All right, here's our cover story. I don't know if you guys saw my thumbnail today, but you can't park there, ma'am.
Some scary moments inside a home in Orem when a car comes.
I keep forgetting I can't make it big because my computer's not working right now. I don't know what's up with it. Something's up. Let's try that.
When a car comes crashing through, and hard to believe here, but
the internet has to work at least for a couple more minutes because we have to get to the cover story.
no driver was behind the wheel. News specialist Andrew Adams found out from neighbors tonight how on earth that happened. Andrew?
Well, Dini, we actually obtained some surveillance.
This is a disaster. This whole stream is a disaster.
That shows exactly what happened. You're going to see it in the story, but basically SUV pulls up behind a parked car and then pushes it across the street right into this house.
Yeah, it was very slow.
In a quiet neighborhood.
The people that heard it, it was just a very slow screeching sound.
It caught everyone by surprise.
Yeah, shock was pretty much the way I felt.
Marcus Height got home to witness the aftermath across the street, and he was in disbelief to see.
It's actually my son's car.
The car had simply been parked on the side of the road.
They were like, what the?
When a neighbor's surveillance camera captured a SUV pull up and park behind it. The video shows the SUV sat there for minutes before pushing forward.
It almost looked like he deliberately lined up behind our car and slowly just pushed it all the way into their house.
The damage to the house was catastrophic, and photos from the people who live here showed just how close the car came to an even worse disaster.
There was just maybe the back quarter of our car hanging out. The rest of it, 3/4, was inside the home. And when we heard that the one son was there and literally 10 feet away, came right almost in his lap, we were just so glad no one was hurt.
As police investigate, neighbors are just
beside themselves over what happened.
It was basically like a bullet going into their home. One of the police officers said he'd been on the force 16 years and never seen anything like that.
An ordeal completely out of the blue that has left them perplexed.
They'll have cars driven into homes sometimes, but never pushed like this. So it was, quite puzzling.
They just slowly pushed that car into another person's house. How insane was that? Never seen anything like this. Whoa. That's usually how they go into houses. That's usually how it happens. Not the slow speed thing we just saw. Let's watch it again.
Hello? Yeah?
It doesn't say what happened here, but I'm guessing the person was incapacitated at the wheel. All right. This story is going to make you guys mad. Are you ready? Are you ready to be mad? I need to know. Are you ready? I saw this and I was so mad. Mr. Zed, if you're still watching, just so you know, we need to get the basement ready for my mom to come live here because she's never going to live anywhere else when she can't live in her own home anymore. And it's because of this right here. It's because of this story right now, right here. I'm infuriated.
Disturbing video shows what appears to be an elderly woman being abused. The alleged abuser, the victim's caretaker. NBC6's Laura Rodriguez is outside that assisted living facility where police are sending a message.
By the way, if I was queen of the world, also death penalty. Rock throwing, death penalty. This, death penalty.
Message to the public on ways to avoid these situations. Laura?
And this facility off of Southwest 68th Avenue and 78th Terrace. This is in the South Miami area. There was a lot of activity here today. Police were here. The state agency that regulates assisted living facilities also here. The granddaughter of this woman tells us her grandmother has Alzheimer's. And just a warning, this video may be very disturbing to watch and listen to.
I have never wanted to punch a older lady in the face. Not the one who's getting beat, the one who's beating her, so much as when I saw this video.
Those are the shrieks of an elderly woman in a bathroom at an assisted living facility. Police say the woman spanking her is Josephine Gurri.
I want to punch this woman in the face so badly. So badly.
Caretaker and registered owner of Good Family Home Inc. The 84-year-old woman's granddaughter reported this to police Tuesday after receiving the video from another caretaker who used to work at the ALF.
On March 19th, she resigned from her job here because she knew things weren't legit.
Gurri was arrested but is now out of jail on bond. We knocked on her door and she did not want to comment.
No la necesita.
South Miami police say at least 2 other patients were living at this facility when this happened. Thursday afternoon, it appears family members came to pick up the last remaining residents. NBC6 cameras also captured the Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration walking into the home. They say Gurri surrendered her license.
Monitor the assisted living facility or the caretaker. Look for any signs of abuse, bruising. Some patients, they don't want to eat and they don't feed them, the losing of the weight. There's several things that you just got to keep an eye out.
And it also may be a good idea to show up at these facilities unannounced. Now, police tell us that they are concerned there may be more victims. So if you believe you may have been a victim of this woman at this assisted living facility, you're asked to call police, South Miami Police. Reporting live in South Miami, I'm Laura Rodriguez.
I was so mad when I saw that story. How on earth? The woman has Alzheimer's, first of all. She's not all mentally there, and you beat her? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? It's insane. So yeah, mom's coming to live with us. That's all I'm saying. I'm not even like I couldn't between this stories like this and the stories where you see babysitters not taking care of children or beating children. I don't want to leave my loved ones in the care of anybody ever. Just nobody. It's me and that's it. I'm going to quit my job and that's just going to be my full-time job. I can't imagine the guilt I would feel if I don't even want to think about it. If I put my loved one in a facility like this and this happened to them, I just can't imagine. Names released of 3 adults and a pregnant teen killed in crash on Route 322 in Boothwyn.
The aftermath of a horrific crash. We've now learned that 4 people, including a pregnant teenage girl, were killed in yesterday's wreck on Route 322 in Delaware County. State police confirmed that they were in pursuit of that car at the time. Thursday afternoon, I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Brian Taff. The big story on Action News today is that new information following that crash in Boothwyn. 7 people were in that red sedan when the driver lost control, slamming into a concrete barrier.
Action News reporter Annie McCormick live right near the scene of that crash with the latest information, and there's a lot that's new today, Annie.
Yeah, that's right. We actually learned more about the passengers in that vehicle and the driver as well. State police telling us today that 4 people were killed. 3 people who were injured were taken to area hospitals. Additionally, they say that pursuit, which lasted about 5 minutes went about 7 miles and at times hit speeds of up to 100 miles per hour.
TSP is in pursuit of a red Taurus.
That mangled red Taurus is the vehicle Pennsylvania State Police were in pursuit of around 1:30 yesterday afternoon when it crashed into a concrete bridge embankment on the left shoulder of the Chichester Avenue overpass on Route 322.
They're doing about 110 miles per hour, last seen on 322.
Police say the driver, now identified as 20-year-old Isaiah Miller, lost control, crossing oncoming traffic after passing motorist's shoulder. Miller had 6 passengers with him.
We responded and brought back to our office 4 individuals, one being a juvenile. One of the individuals was pregnant.
4 died, including Tiana Motley, a 17-year-old pregnant woman, and 20-year-old Ikeem Rogers. And
by the way, that's 4 adults and 1 child. That's 5 people that died.
21-year-old Kaylin Billups. 3 others, a 16, 18, and 20-year-old, were taken to local hospitals. It was at this shopping center in Concord Township, 5 miles from the crash site, where troopers were on patrol because of recent retail thefts. Police say this Lululemon was previously targeted by shoplifters. Police saw the occupants of the Taurus approach businesses, then return to the car when an unmarked unit approached. State police tried to pull the vehicle over that had numerous violations, but they say the driver took off and the pursuit began. The fatal impact caused the Taurus to burst into flames. Shoppers today said they're in shock.
I never see that, and I think I'm just a little confused and a little apprehensive now and going to be more aware of my surroundings.
Yeah.
State police also said today that one of the occupants of that vehicle was believed to be involved in a previous retail theft at that shopping center. As for the 3 who were taken to area hospitals, we were told that they have non-life-threatening injuries. Reporting live in Boothwyn, Annie McCormick, Channel 6.
Thanks, Annie McCormick. I appreciate it. All right. It's time. It is time. Do you want to know what it's time for? First of all, Thank you very much to the 28 people who are watching here on the conglomerate that comes up on Restream, and also the 7 over there on Rumble. I see you over there. I see you. It's time. Have you guys been to katiesed.com? You should. You should. You can get great merchandise like this shirt that I'm wearing right now. What I really want to still push is this Christ is King merchandise, because all the proceeds from that go to onemorechild.org, and they provide Christ-centered services to vulnerable children and struggling families. Pick yourself up a t-shirt. Pick yourself a mug. Get both. Get a mug and a t-shirt. Wear your t-shirt while you're drinking coffee out of your mug, watching this true crime channel, or the other two creators who collaborated with me. Let's Be Frank of the Let's Be Frank channel, and Stephen Ignoramus, also known as Ignormus Jr., aka Know Nothing Music. He does my intro and outro music. The three of us, anyway, we collaborated on this merchandise. So far, we launched this a month ago. We've raised $138, almost $139 to go to onemorechild.org. So thank you for your purchases this last month. It's still going. We're doing it another month. We're going to play it by ear after that. But I appreciate your help. That's the ad. The ad's over now. Now it is the first episode of the month, which means everybody who was either a guest on the channel, everybody who donated, did a super chat, anything like that, their name's in here too. I have to tell you, if Waffle Salter doesn't win this, because most of these are Waffle Salter that's in here right now. He told me not to put his name in, but he also donated like $1,000. So his name's in here a lot. But I'm going to mix them up, and we'll see what happens. Any of the new people here, anybody who supports the show either by buying merchandise, by doing a donation. Sometimes I'll do questions, and the person who gets the question correct in the chat gets an entry. All sorts of different ways you can get yourself into this entry. It doesn't cost anything to enter. Sometimes, like I said, during game night and stuff, everybody who was on game night has a entry in here. All right, there they are. Let's see who wins. It is Waffle Salter. It is Waffle Salter. I promise these are not all his. There's a lot in here from Erica and Ron, too. They're big supporters of the show. Waffle Salter wins again. I haven't seen him here tonight, but if he is, I know how to get a hold of you. I will let you know, Waffle. I did enter his name a lot that day. Were you all here the day that Waffle Salter just kept throwing $100 donations at me? It totally sidetracked my show. I couldn't get over it. How do I see a $300 donation come in and not stop what I'm doing and address it? It's nearly impossible. Nearly impossible. That's it. That's the ad. Oh, I did want to say one other thing, because some of you know this, some of you don't, but I did have a procedure done. And I don't talk about it on my channel, but I've had lower back problems for a long time. And a couple months ago, they did the right side of my back. And then this past Thursday, they did the left side of my back. Actually, you can see the bruise where they put the IV in right there. But I did have the second half of my back done on Thursday, and everything went well. And I'm good now. Fingers crossed. It's still a little sore. I'm still in recovery. They said it can take 6 to 8 weeks. But the first 3 days are the most painful. And I think I'm out of the woods now. So that's good. Also, if you're the praying type, my brother is having a procedure done on Tuesday. So send a little prayer his way. Send some good vibes, some prayers to his doctors and to him on Tuesday morning. I would appreciate that. All right, back to the criminals. This dude was arrested for rape and kidnapping of an Amazon driver. People just trying to make a buck out here and pay their bills, and they're going to get kidnapped and raped. What's wrong with the world?
At 5 Metro Police say an Amazon delivery driver was kidnapped, raped, and robbed while delivering packages early this morning. Now this man, Carl Hamilton, is facing charges. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marius Payton.
And I'm Lauren Lowry.
This is out of Nashville, by the way. This is out of Nashville.
The police say this happened in the mailroom at an apartment complex downtown. This is on Ronald Reagan Way. Police say the 25-year-old female driver was delivering packages when Hamilton walked in, pushed her into the back of the mailroom, closed the door, and then sexually assaulted her. Afterward, he made her drive him to an ATM and used her debit card to steal $100.
Officers were able to arrest Hamilton thanks to surveillance cameras at the apartment complex. Police say he's a career criminal who has been charged with more than 100 offenses in Nashville alone since 2007. And just 2 years ago, he was found guilty.
Why is he not in 100 different offenses? Is that what they just said? In Nashville alone? How is he not in prison? How, like, can we bring back the 3 strikes rule? Can we bring that back, please? People like this don't need to be on the streets. He's a career criminal. News guy, you said it yourself. He's a career criminal. We don't want these people walking amongst us. I'm going to Nashville at the end of July. I don't want this guy out on bail. I don't want to run into him into a mail room or wherever. Oh man, lock him up. Please lock him up.
And just 2 years ago, he was found guilty of assaulting a woman.
And new at 5, we've just learned Hamilton was in court yesterday and had 5 other charges dropped. He's now charged with aggravated rape, aggravated kidnapping.
We're just dropping charges on him now. Let's just get rid of those charges. We don't need to charge him. Like, he's not going to hurt anybody else. He's learned his lesson. Obviously not.
And robbery.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. West Jordan man arrested after alleged joke shooting killed his best friend. How do you joke shoot? I guess we're about to find out.
Video tonight of the aftermath of a shooting that investigators say started as a joke between friends and ended with a West Jordan man dead.
News specialist Lawrence
I'm guessing it wasn't like a funny ha-ha joke.
Steinbrecher is live outside the West Jordan Police Department to explain the fatal mistake and the message police hope everyone can hear. Lauren?
Deanie and Mike, please say this brings up the importance of gun safety because the man they arrested allegedly told them he did not mean to kill his friend.
Video shows paramedics helping an injured man on a stretcher who would later die at the hospital, taking another man away in handcuffs after a 911 call of a shooting.
A male called in saying that he had his friend. Officers got quickly into the area. I believe the first officer there was able to go in, apply a chest seal to the wound area.
Court documents saying the 2 men, Anthony Sanchez and Dylan Douglas Miller Matome, were friends, and the shooting meant as a joke. Investigators say Sanchez told them the 2 were watching TV when he did something funny and Dylan got his phone out to record it. Anthony apparently pulled a gun out to be funny, pointing it at Dylan and pulling the trigger, shooting Dylan in the chest. Documents say...
I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but obviously there are people in the world that need to hear this. You always treat every gun as if it's loaded, even if you think it's not loaded. You don't point it at anything you don't want dead. Yeah, those 2 things. Do those 2 things. And how about don't point guns at people for funny ha-has? That's just crazy.
Sanchez didn't know the gun was loaded.
You always want to treat all firearms like they're loaded, you know, whether they're not. Always review.
A lesson learned too late. With Sanchez now in jail, his friend no longer alive.
Sanchez was arrested on negligent homicide, possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person, as well as felony discharge of a firearm. Now, apparently when he called 911, he was screaming and told the dispatcher, "I can't believe I shot my best friend." Guys.
Yeah, accident or not, just...
I can't believe you shot your best friend either. Oh, sorry, we're back to the website. Go to katieshead.com, buy that merchandise. It's for a really good cause. 5 teens injured in shooting at Senior Skip Day gathering in Maryland Park.
Responded to Strom Hills Park, which is located in the 6900 block of Hanover.
This is going really well today. My internet's working so well.
When they arrived on scene, the original officer discovered about 500 to 600 what he believed to be high school students in the park. For those that have not been there, this park is not big, so that's a lot.
I need computer help bad. Is my sister-in-law watching right now? I need your husband's help. I don't know what this cop is going to say, so I'll just read it. All right. 5 teenagers were injured after gunfire rang out at a large gathering of high school students taking part in Senior Skip Day in Maryland, police said. Officers from several law enforcement agencies were responding to help control a crowd of 500 to 600 students who had gathered in Strom Hills Park in Greenbelt on Friday afternoon when they heard multiple shots ring out, according to Greenbelt Police Chief Richard Bowers. 5 male victims ranging between the ages of 16 and 18 were located with gunshot wounds. All 5 victims were transported to local hospitals. 3 of the victims were released from the hospital, and the sole victim listed as in critical condition has been upgraded to stable condition, Greenbelt Police said Saturday. A suspect in the shooting is believed to have fled the park when the crowd dispersed following the gunfire and has not been located at this time. Police believe there was only one shooter. The police chief called the shooting a horrible, tragic, senseless act. These kids were on Senior Skip Day, who were looking to have a good time in a local park. And to have something like this occur is maddening, Bowers said. The students had initially gathered in Bowie, Maryland, for Senior Skip Day and were asked to disperse by local law enforcement. Greenbelt Police Department spokesperson told ABC News many of those students then moved to Strom Hills Park, where they participated in a large water gun fight prior to the shooting. Dude brought a gun to a water gun fight. First rule of water gun fights is you don't bring a real gun. Greenbelt Mayor Emmett Jordan said the gathering was informally organized on social media. We don't condone skipping school, but it's the Senior Skip Day, Bowers said. It's just a tragedy. Students from multiple high schools in the area are believed to have been in the park, the police chief said. The motive remains unclear. The shooting remains under investigation. Bowers urged anyone with footage from the incident to reach out to the police. Investigators will also be looking over body-worn camera footage, he said. We know that the person involved is definitely on camera somewhere. Probably so if it was Senior Skip Day that was organized on social media. Did you guys participate in Senior Skip Day when you were in high school? I did not. And I'm not just saying that because my mom's in the chat right now. I actually did not. I don't think we had a Senior Skip Day. I think I went to a private school and it just wasn't a thing where I went to school. Public school kids skipping school. My school would never stand for it. Here's another good mom, it looks like. Police ID suspected Miami Gardens car burglar who was turned in by his mom. Police have identified the Miami Gardens suspected car burglar who was arrested Saturday in Miramar after his mom turned him into police. Jahar Iglesias, age 29, was charged with possession of a weapon or ammo by a convicted felon. grand theft auto, discharge of a firearm, resisting an officer, operating a vehicle with a suspended license, and 3 charges of probation violation. Look at that face. Apparently a face his mother didn't love. Now, I'm not saying his mother did love him. That's wrong. That's wrong. His mom could have turned him in and also loved him. She could have turned him in because she loved him. We don't know. I haven't spoken to her. According to bond court records, Iglesias faced $5,000 a $5,000 bond for possession of a weapon, $2,000 for grand theft auto, another $2,000 for discharge of a weapon, and then a $100 bond for resisting arrest and operating a motor vehicle with a suspended license. According to the Miramar police, Iglesias requested to be picked up from an address in Miami Gardens after committing the burglar. Police say his mother called authorities after noticing a firearm in his bag. Miramar officers say they stopped the vehicle and Iglesias refused to step out, forcing traffic to be shut down on University Drive between Miramar Boulevard and Pembroke Road until he was taken into custody. Yeah, I could see Erica has a good point here. Erica has good points a lot, but this is especially good. I could see turning in a loved one because you love them. That makes sense to me. That absolutely makes sense to me. Man using magnet in Middle Georgia Creek finds new evidence in Craigslist killing, GBI says. Have you guys seen these videos on YouTube or wherever, TikTok, whatever your favorite app is, where they do this magnet fishing? I always see these videos pop up like in my shorts feed or wherever, and they're always finding like hand grenades and guns, and I think to myself, they totally planted that there, right? Apparently this time they did not. I'm assuming that most of the time they did these magnet magnet anglers, did plant stuff and they're doing it for the content, right? But in this case, that's not what happened. They were just out there magnet fishing and found evidence. I am not giving you 99 cents for 3 months to read this. Hold on. I might be able to. Hold on. Let me just put this over here. I may have a subscription to the AJC. And I may just not be logged in, but I do want to read this article. Fingers crossed my subscription is still active. When I was doing that story on that serial killer that killed Meredith Emerson, I actually signed up for the AJC. And it was like a 3-month thing. And I think that might have been less than 3 months ago. Now my subscription is over. Oh, well. I'll read what I can. Sorry, I tried. I'm not giving them another 99 cents. A man with a magnet who was fishing in a Middle Georgia Creek discovered items linked to the 2015 killings of a Metro Atlanta couple who drove 200 miles in hopes of buying their classic dream car, authorities said. The GBI said Monday that the man found a .22 caliber rifle on April 14th while magnet fishing in Horse Creek on Old Prison Camp Road in McRae, Helena. 2 days later, he pulled up a bag containing driver's licenses and credit cards belonging to Bud and June Runyon, along with what authorities believed was the couple's cell phone. Here's the couple here, and there's the dude. This case really interests me. I might do a deep dive. Do you guys want a deep dive on this one? All I have is this 2 paragraphs that I can see for free right now, but this is very interesting to me. And if it's interesting to you guys too, I will do a deep dive. All right, we're getting into the cute stories now. Like we start kind of here, and then we go way down into the depths of depravity and, Amazon drivers raping people and all of that sort of stuff. And now we're coming back up. We're going to leave you on a high note. Did you guys watch SVU? Law and Order SVU? I used to. I used to watch SVU. I haven't in a couple of years. There was a couple of episodes where it was just so ridiculous that I decided that I stopped watching it. Which I shouldn't do because it might have just been 1 or 2 episodes. Plus, I don't have real TV anymore. Not that real TV, what is that anyway? I don't have television. I have the internet, right? So I would have to go find SVU somewhere to watch it. But this actress, Melissa Haggerty, Mariska Hargitay, has played Olivia Benson forever. Like since I was a kid, I think she's been playing the same detective, right? And a little girl was lost and thought she was a real police officer, and she helped find her mom for her, which I thought was just heartwarming.
Olivia Benson is here, and she is real. Mariska Hargitay reported for duty when a young girl reportedly interrupted a Law and Order SVU location shoot in New York City. Asked the actress to help her find her mother. Apparently, the child and her mom were separated at Ann Loftus Playground in Fort Tryon Park in northern Manhattan on Wednesday. SVU happened to be shooting in the park, and when the girl saw Benson's police badge hanging from Hargitay's belt, she thought, hey, she's a real NYPD cop. So the girl asked for help to find her mom. According to People.com, Hargitay stopped filming the scene with Ice-T and spent 20 minutes reuniting the girl with her mother and talking to them after. By the way, we promise these are real photos and not shots from an episode of SVU, but they totally could be. Head to TV.com for more and share your thanks to Olivia Benson.
Notice he did not go up to Ice-T. He went up to Mariska. Or she, I guess, was a little girl. Dramatic. That was dramatic. I don't want to disable my ad blocker, though. But I do want to see the dramatic video. Let me see. Let me see if it'll let me look at this article. All right, I disabled it. Show me the article. There it is. Dramatic ring camera shows neighbors alerting others to spreading fire. Oh my gosh, Aimless Gamer's here. Hi, Aimless. Hi, Dan. Everybody say hi to Dan. Dan, I'm so glad you're here. I missed you. Dan's an actual real life friend of mine, by the way. I'm glad to see you, Dan. My internet isn't happy to be here, but I am.
When you live in a Pulte home, you live in an innovative home.
I'm happy to be here. Yeah, everybody say hi to Dan. He just rolls in here whenever he wants. Rolls in, rolls out. He does a lot of rolling. Maybe we won't see this dramatic. There's like commercials. There's commercials right now, guys. How much commercials do we need? This is why I don't like to disable my ad blocker. That's spreading so fast. Holy cannoli. It's only been 2 minutes and it's like got 3 houses caught on fire right now. 4, 5. These people are going door to door, knocking on doors too. This is amazing. Amazing community here. That was like a 3-minute video, and that whole house, like that whole row of houses went up in, there's no article about it. I was going to read to you guys, but there's no article. I'm praying everybody got out unharmed. It said that nobody died, but doesn't mean they weren't harmed. Hero cop who single-handedly stopped crazed Sydney Mall stabber. Take 2. Hero cop who single-handedly stopped crazy Sydney Mall stabber ID'd as Amy Scott. Yikes. Oh, see, you guys are sending me all these female cops now. All right. I get it. She's a female cop. A female cop who single-handedly confronted, I cannot speak after we'll be going an hour and a half. After an hour and a half, I can't talk anymore. The female cop who single-handedly confronted and stopped a knife-wielding madman who killed 6 people at a Sydney shopping mall has been identified as a veteran officer. The officer who identified in local reports as Amy Scott, a high-ranking inspector at the Eastern Suburbs Police Area Command, had been on the job for more than a decade prior to the harrowing attack in Sydney's Westfield Bondi Junction Shopping Center on Saturday. Let's watch the video. No sound? Sound. Wow. They still have Kmart's there. I have no idea what's happening in any of these videos. All right. Great video, New York Post. Thank you. There she is. This is what I was looking for in that video. New South Wales Police Commissioner Karen Webb said Scott displayed enormous courage and bravery while responding to the incident that left 6 people dead, including a 38-year-old mother who desperately tried to protect her 9-month-old daughter, who remains in serious condition following surgery for her wounds. Photos taken at the chaotic stabbing scene showed the officer kneeling beside the 40-year-old suspect, whom she had just shot, his knife visible near his hand and a pool of blood gathering around him. She had to shoot him because he just kept coming, Dixon said. He had a knife and wasn't going to stop. He was advancing at her, and he was running, coming to get someone else. I'm glad she got him, because if she didn't, he would have stabbed her too. The fearless female cop, who wasn't injured, was doing well under the circumstances, Webb said. She showed enormous courage and bravery. The police commissioner continued, adding Scott was alone when she confronted the suspect. She will be interviewed tomorrow. That's a good story. Female cop doing good in the world. Love to see it. I just said we're going to go uphill from here, and now I'm talking about a New Zealand sheep, a murderous New Zealand sheep. I have a couple of stories left after this. The next 3 are about animals, and the last one is my favorite. So please stick around for the last story. It is such a good story. An aggressive sheep was shot and killed after it was determined to be responsible for the deaths of an older New Zealand couple. A man went looking for his mother and father Thursday after not hearing from them for a few days. The couple, both in their 80s, lived in a rural rented area. I can talk. I can do this. Get your shit together, Katie. I'm getting there. The man went looking for his mother and father Thursday after not hearing from them for a few days. The couple, both in their 80s, lived in a rural rented property in Waikari, West Auckland. He entered the property and found both of his parents, Alfred Hansen and Gay Carol Hansen. They were both dead. According to the New Zealand Herald, authorities believe the man was killed when he went out to feed the ram. His wife suffered the same fate when she went out to check on her husband. A statement from police said they discovered the bodies around 7:30 a.m. local time. They found the ram in the paddock when they arrived. They said another person at the scene who also suffered minor injuries after being attacked by this ram. And when police arrived at the scene, they were too confronted and approached by the ram. Police said they shot and killed the aggressive animal at the scene. Dean Burrell, the nephew of one of the dead, and a family spokesperson told the news outlet that the couple had both lost their lives in a tragic accident. They're good people. They're over 80. They don't deserve this, he said. Everyone is in shock as to what happened. They're very upset. I'm assuming this is a recreation of the ram because they did shoot the one that killed the people. Woman surprised to find a nearly 8-foot alligator in her kitchen. That is breaking and entering. All of my Florida people out there, or, Louisiana, anywhere in the bayou, do alligators just get into your kitchen? Is that a thing that happens? I was thinking I might like to live in Florida, but not if there's going to be an 8-foot alligator in my kitchen. Doesn't sound fun.
Well, the front screen door, it's magnetic and it was completely closed, but the gator pushed it hard enough to break the clasp. That's how the gator got inside and right into the kitchen.
5 o'clock in the afternoon, I was sitting here on my sofa watching TV, and I heard my front door rattle.
It wasn't just any old visitor on her doorstep.
I thought somebody was just trying to get into the wrong house.
This one, almost 8 foot long, scaly, and with a tail.
Okay, so basically he just pushed.
Did you see the size of that alligator?
On that, and it just came open. From the time I first heard the door rattle to the time I came around the corner, it couldn't have been more than probably 10 or 15 seconds. He was already.
Look at the size of that thing. Look at the size of that alligator. What I would have to just buy a new house, I think. It's his house now. I just don't live there anymore.
Already inside completely.
So Hollenbach's first instinct was to call 911. That's when Hollenbach says a team of 5 Sarasota County.
My first instinct would be to throw something at it. Like I just have like chapstick in my hand or something. Whip it at the alligator. That'd be my first instinct.
County deputies and Florida Fish and Wildlife came to the rescue.
So cool, so professional. They acted like, oh, alligator in the house, no problem. They don't normally.
While the gator is gone, these pictures will last forever.
I had to have a picture of him because nobody would believe it otherwise.
Gaining her a spotlight.
And then he got stuck right here.
Across the nation.
Never in my wildest imagination would I have thought that it went, I mean, essentially viral.
It's a special welcome to Florida for Hollenbach, who's originally from Indiana. She just has some scratches.
He scratched the bottom of the cabinets.
And had to throw away her rug, but she's already learned to coexist with the wildlife in her new backyard.
It makes life in Florida a whole lot more interesting.
Reporting in Venice, Samantha Romero, NBC2.
Crazy. Crazy. It's that alligator owns that house now. It's his house. It is his house now. Oh, man. All right. This is my favorite story of the week. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I like squirrels a lot. Yes, I am an old lady. I feed the squirrels. I have a squirrel that lives outside of my office window at my job. His name is Jake. Her name is Jake. I named her Jake before I knew she was a she, and I decided to keep her name Jake. She's named after the crow in Shawshank Redemption because my office is kind of like a prison, right? So her name is Jake, and I feed Jake every day that I work from the office 4 days a week. So 4 days a week, I feed Jake. And I thought to myself, if I keep feeding Jake, maybe one day Jake will eat from my hand. Jake hasn't eaten from my hand yet. It's been 2 years. But now when I open the door to feed Jake, she doesn't run away anymore. So we're getting closer. Now, if Jake ever does eat from my hand and we are allowed to get a pet squirrel, I'm hoping that that pet squirrel will be like this pet squirrel.
We're still working on the being nice to people part, but maybe I shouldn't work on that too much because he obviously took care of the house.
Tonight, a 6 on Your Side exclusive. A Meridian man's pet.
How cute is that squirrel? That's all I'm saying.
Squirrel literally goes nuts on a would-be burglar. The man returned home last week and discovered someone broke into his house and tried to steal his guns.
The burglar able to grab a few small things before things got a little squirrely. 6 on Your Side's Lacey Darrow live in studio with the exclusive story.
Don, Michelle, some people have guard dogs, maybe even a protective cat, but it's a Meridian man's pet rodent that's being hailed a hero.
Adam Pearl walked into his Meridian home Tuesday and realized something didn't seem right.
I came in the front door and, well, I saw snow prints out in the front driveway going to the back of the house. And so I thought something was awry because nobody usually goes through the yard.
Adam was immediately greeted by his pet squirrel Joey when he got home, but then he started noticing a few doors were open. After making his way to the back bedroom, his fear was confirmed once he started looking at his gun safe.
I started looking at it and I saw the scratches that were around the locking area. And at that point I knew somebody was definitely in here messing around.
Adam called Meridian Police, and when Officer Ashley Turner came out to take a look, Joe just had to say hello.
And during her investigations, Joey had run in the bedroom just screwing around like he always does between her legs and kind of startled her. And she says, "Whoa, what was that?" I said, "Don't worry about that. That's just Joey. Pet squirrel, you know."
Officer Turner asked Adam if Joey would bite.
I said, "Well, he usually doesn't bite, but you never know, because he is a squirrel."
Officer Turner went on her way, only to return a few hours later with some of his stolen belongings and some unbelievable news.
She said while she was questioning the individual, he had scratches on his hand. So she asked him, "So did you get that from the squirrel?" And he says, "Yeah, damn."
Where'd you get those scratches, Mr. Burglar? You come into contact with any squirrels lately?
Thing kept attacking me and wouldn't stop until I left.
Now Joey is being hailed a hero.
Nobody can believe it, because who can say they have a squirrel that guards their house? Which is crazy. You can't ask for much more than that. He's a pain in the butt, but he's great.
Adam says he thanked Joey by giving him his favorite treat. That, of course, is the candy Whoppers. Live in studio, Lacey Darrow, 6 on your side.
No squirrels eat candy.
Knew?
I might have to get Jake some Whoppers. I had no idea that squirrels ate candy. I just give him like peanuts and almonds and stuff. Jake or her. I keep calling him. I mean, it's kind of ambiguous. Whatever. So that's the show. That's the show, guys. Did you enjoy it? I enjoyed it. Sorry about my internet. I'm going to have to get that checked out. I did look it up at the beginning, though, and AT&T was having issues in the area, so hopefully it will resolve itself. You never know. Coming up. Let's see. Coming up. The next time I'm going to see you is the 10th, Friday Night Crime. Number 2 will be here. We're going to do Friday Night Crime on the 10th. That is a Friday night. And we will see you then. After that is game night on the 11th. I'm hoping to see all of you here at game night. If you're a member, you get to come on up on the panel and play the game. If you are not a member, you can still be in the audience. And we poll the audience an awful lot because we don't know the answers to these questions. And we, kind of like, I was going to say Deal or No Deal. That's the wrong show. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where we ask the audience. We do that a lot during game night. So we need you here. We need you here for game night on the 11th. And then I believe, okay, so we're going to cover Samuel Little next week. But my guest for the Samuel Little case is not available on Sundays. So I think we're going to just do a short little something on Sunday. I'm not sure what. I'll always be here for you Sunday at 4:30. I don't know what we're going to do next week, but that following Tuesday night, we're going to do a Tuesday night stream with my guest, Shane Quiros, and we're going to talk about Samuel Little, who the FBI claims is the most prolific serial killer in United States history. I barely knew anything about him. I started researching it today. It's a very interesting story. Very weird dude. And it's a serial killer case. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic... we have gift memberships coming in? Hold on. Hold the phone. I was about to end the show, and then somebody snuck in. Who did it? Why can't I see who did the gift memberships? Hold on. Erica, thank you very much. Erica did 5 gift memberships. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Number 2, Linda, Ron, Yo Mama, We Need Peace are all new members. I appreciate you guys. We're going to give the doggos some Treatos, and then we will get out of here. Got to get those last minute milk bones in, huh? Don't forget, I have all these milk bones back here on the shelf because somebody sent them to my P.O. box. In my channel description, there's a P.O. box there. If you want to send me anything at all, you can do that there. We have enough milk bones to last us 6 months right now, so maybe not that. But They do enjoy, if you want to send something, I don't need anything, but if you want to send something to Ava and Xena, they do enjoy like deer antlers and stuff like that, the ram horns, that sort of stuff. All right, come here. Do a sit. Sit. Do a high five. High five. There is Xena. Thank you, Erica. I appreciate it. Welcome to the new members. Hopefully we'll see you, all the new members. Ron, Yo Mama, We Need Peace, Linda. Number 2 will be there anyway. Hopefully we'll see you at the game night on the 11th. What happens with the game night is I put out an invite in my community section the day of with a link to join the game night. So look for that, all of my new members. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for coming. We will see you Friday night for Friday Night Crime. And that's an intro. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man, Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you so loco? Show off your photos. Throw out your Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shit's a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8th subscriber, I'm up at Goso. Jump in them Sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Looking for new drills, needed a new track of land. I used to dig the Simpsons, man. Bumping Biggie, Pac, Smash Mouth, and Simple Plan. No scrubs for the crease in my pimples, damn. From the south streets of southeast Michigan, hitting shuffle till I settled on a different jam. And when a dime won't do, a better nickel can. And let me tell you, when I used to dig them Simpsons, man. A funny thing about time, you can't get it back. A tight grip, but it rips the jacket. Slight lisp with a mix of traffic. You see about me, like Mr. Glass, always wished I was a whiz at graphics. Take me back to the past where the hits were massive. You can hear Gladys Knight and the Pips on plastic. Misfit molasses. Delete my contacts just so I can stick to glasses. Feel that skipped out, so I miss the classics. Aristotle of the bottle, Seneca of the sinful action, senator of the simple maxim. I swear for a skillful Saxon, I'm still relaxing. Who wanna take a dip in the mind sauce, making up for the time lost, forgetting all my past was when I sign off. Prime bribe, prime rib, Agent Smith, crime boss, popping red pills till my mind's off, mind's off. First Florida man, first Florida man, Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you so loco? Show off your photos, throw out your Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shit's a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Brought to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8th subscriber, I'm up at Goso. Jump in them Sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Threw up that blue pill, moved to a new track. I slew the foothills of that voodoo sap. Microfiche tape decks, I'll sift through that, cause I'll do anything to get the old Simpsons back. Give me the news that make my mood react. I'll swim through the sewer just to make it to the truth intact. And you can shine up that voodoo with new shellac. I'll still do anything to get the old Simpsons back. Imagine thinking Karl Marx is new school Klingon like Huzu. They welcome the ways they can bring on the boots, dude. Declare a major, they get paid to pollute you. Self-ashamed neighbors never gaze when they scoop you. I wonder how we fight it. The 6th step is never enter in my tent uninvited. The 5th step is produce, no skills is no use. 4th step community preference is unity. 3rd step is nation, it's somewhat location, mostly relations, that's the situation. Next step, family, patriarchal sanity, safe under the canopy, ain't a place for anarchy. First step, I just got to say it, no showboat. Step back and soak up the logos. First Florida man, Endo de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Won't you soak logos, show off your photos, throw out them Twinkies, throw up your ho-hos, tuck in them pinkies, them shits a no-no. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Got to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8th subscriber, Yama Bagoso. Jump in them Sinkies and dump them mimosas. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Hernando de Soto. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. Got to my attention by the man with the mojo. My 8th subscriber, Yama Bagoso. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man